Once upon a time, two retired teachers decided to convert their garage into a pottery studio. Along with their daughter and son, they built a business around the idea that the world could use a little more art and a lot more artists. We're the Kaya family. Welcome to Wocky Pots. Hi everybody, how you doing? How you been? How are things? Shane and Diana here with coffee time number 38 here at Wocky Pots Studio. It is Monday, August 26th. Holy cow, where did the summer go?
Yes, and today is International Dog Day.
International
Yay!
Dog Day. So
Yes.
if you have your doggos, make sure you give them a little extra attention today.
Yes.
I know ours got an extra milk bone already. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning yet, and they've already had 2 milk bones.
Yes, she's doing a great job training.
Yeah, I'm being trained exactly. Yep. So what are we going to talk about today?
Alrighty, well, we're gonna recap last week. So, surprisingly, with all the stuff going on in the house with the people with the flood mitigation thing and the,
if you will recall,
Yes.
we had a time, guys.
you know, it's been hard to get out here and keep our routine, but I was pleasantly surprised. We actually made 33 pieces.
Right, not bad at all.
Not bad at all. No. And in fact, one of the pieces that I made, I've made 3 of these, and I'm very pleased with this guy. It's got
Fancy.
that beautiful filigree pattern. I like a chunkier handle than this, but we had a few folks asking for a smaller handle.
Yep.
Not one that you could only put one finger through, but one that just was smaller in the thickness of it. So I did do that just because, I do try when someone makes
if they
a
have an
suggestion
idea,
or an
sure, we'll
idea,
try
I try.
Yep.
So I made that.
You have 3
Three
of
of them.
those, right?
Yeah, I do.
And I think they're going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, I made a bunch of mugs also.
Yes,
I
that's
have
really cool.
one mug in particular that I want to talk about only because it's a little different than things I've normally done before.
Yes. I wish I had been able to have watched you do that because
It was kind of a cool process. Normally, I pull the handle separately and then attach the handle to the mug. But this time, on this particular mug, I took the lump of clay, stuck it to the cup, and then pulled the handle right from the mug and then reattached the bottom.
Yeah.
I think I like it. I'll try a larger one next time. This one's kind of a small handle.
Right.
But I'll give it a try, and who knows, that might be my normal thing.
I really like the whole cup, though. It has a tiny flare here at the rim. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's a
tiny
good
bulge here. I
Good
love that.
little cup. Yep, not bad at all.
Yes.
But
And
a
it'll hold.
slightly different
I think
technique.
it'll hold a nice amount too when it's all said and
Excuse me.
done. We'll have to measure that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
So
going to be a
that'll
great
be
one.
fun. Our daughter and Carolyn and her boyfriend James, they came by last week because she was coming over to glaze some pieces, and she said, "I'll make some pumpkins while I'm there too."
We can't show them to you guys, because
No.
they're in the kiln right now
Yes.
getting their bisque fire.
Yes, and but that was the first time James sat down. Had James ever worked with clay? with
Yes,
us?
well,
I can't remember.
He did sit way back a gazillion years
so.
ago. He and Carolyn did do some handmade little clay pinch pot kind of things with me.
Okay, but he made a pumpkin, and his
turned out
pumpkin
great.
turned out really cute.
Yep.
So I think he's going to try to come on Friday to glaze his this week.
Well, it'll be
So,
out of the kiln and ready to be
yeah.
glazed. Our glaze load is completely done with the firing part. Now it just has to
Yeah.
cool. We're down to about 200 and something degrees Fahrenheit, so it won't be long at all. When it reaches 100 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll crack open the lid and then start glazing some of the stuff that's in there, so that we have new things to put on the table next Saturday. Not this coming Wednesday. We won't have none of that stuff will be ready by Wednesday, but by Saturday.
And it's not a tremendous amount, and in fact we fired that with way less in it than what we would normally, but we needed to try to build some stock back up. So,
Right. We didn't have that much, and that much greenware, and we do need to get a few pieces on the table for this coming Saturday.
Yes. And of course, our son Christopher, last week was his first week of his driver's ed class, and so he went every single day. Class lasted
3 hours and change.
Yeah, a little bit over 3 hours each day, and every day they took a quiz, and he happily every day told us what his score was. And
I think he's going to be a great driver, you guys. I really do, and I'm not being sarcastic with that. He's very good at that kind of task. So I think he's gonna be great.
So he was very pleased to report that he had all 90s and 100s and stuff. So he wants very much to go take the driver's permit test.
Right, and he's probably ready for it. He could probably pass it. So
I think so.
We're cheering him on. We have one more week of the driver's ed classes, and then once he passes his permit test, then he'll be able to drive with us in the vehicles, and that'll be great.
Yes, and we start the process of all those hours that we have to record.
Yep, I'm not nervous about or worried a bit. I think he's going to do great.
Yeah, I think so too. And of course, we've been to the market last week and had 2 wonderful market days.
Surprisingly great days at the market. Even though high summer is over and we're sliding into the last few weeks of summer, we did a fantastic job. And yes, you got a couple of precious little things.
Yes, I got a gift.
Yeah, I didn't get a gift.
I got a gift at the market. Tom, who sells lavender things at the market.
He usually sets up in a booth across from us.
He's the other purple tent. We always joke. And their purple tent is the exact same purple tent
same one we have.
But he brought me a gift this week, and it's a nice little bag to go in a dresser or under your pillow.
A lavender sachet.
Yes. Oh, and it smells so good.
It smells lavendery.
That was so sweet of him. But
it smells very purple, you guys.
Yes. But, he brought it over. He said, I wanted to bring you a gift. He said, you're always helping. So
well, and we do try to help out. And that's one of the things where we wanted to mention. One of the reasons we love the Chincoteague market is how helpful everybody is. And everybody jumps in and assists other people with putting their things up, and it's a great vibe. It really is.
It is. I mean, we help Tom get his tent up. We help Yumi get her tent up. Yumi comes and helps other people and helps us and brings us food.
It's a great
wonderful.
Friendly family kind of feeling. We love it.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's a great place to be.
Yep.
We also managed to do the horsehair Raku firing last week.
That's right. We got the kiln loaded up, and I'll show you pictures of that, you guys, because I did take some pictures this time of our process, and hopefully that'll give you some insight in how we do that. I am hoping to get another horsehair Raku firing done before Wednesday's market. Now, today's Monday. That means we're either going to have to do it today or tomorrow if we do it. I would love to do it because we still have a few pieces. I'm looking over there. We've got a couple of medium-sized vases, a couple of smaller vases, and still a couple of horses.
Well, we have the one vase that has to the Highland cow that we got to make sure that one stays because we don't have the hair from the cow yet.
Right.
So Carolyn was checking on that, in fact. And then last week we also posted our homeschool art classes for the fall.
Right. So we're getting geared up for the fall season there. We have 2 sessions on one on Tuesday, one on Thursday.
Yes.
And I believe they're both pretty close to being full.
Thursday's completely full.
Thursday is full.
We have, I believe, 4 spaces left in the Tuesday class. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, we always enjoy doing those homeschool art classes. It's a lot of fun.
It is, and it's just one of the ways that we can still, be connected to teaching. And so even though we're retired teachers, we still love to teach.
Right. That's exactly right.
So it gives us that opportunity to work with kids. One of my favorite things last week, and I know we probably should have been out here working in the studio and making and trying.
Oh, you're talking about yesterday's, right? We still feel a little guilty about this, you guys.
I really don't. No, we needed it.
Yeah, we had a date. With each other. That was, It was great. We had a lot of fun.
Yes, we went to another farmer's market actually just to walk around.
Right, just to see what it's like
to look at the things
to
and
visit
it was
one.
it was fun because as we were there, we looked and there was Angela with her Marshall Farms, and she has alpacas and other kinds of farm animals and stuff. So she sells eggs and things, and then she does needle felting.
Right.
With the wool. And look, guys, it's purple.
It's a little purple jellyfish.
It's a purple jellyfish. So I got this purple jellyfish yesterday, and it's going to hang here in the studio.
Right. Yep. And
we seem to have a purple theme starting to go really strong.
We'll have to get some of the tendrils down over there a little bit. But it's going to be great.
He's so cute.
Yep, it's going to be fantastic. So that was nice. Shout out to Angela.
Yeah.
It was great seeing her yesterday.
Yes, and we had a good meal.
We did. Yep.
We did. We
Sterling Tavern.
Yep, Sterling Tavern in Berlin. So we sat down, had a nice meal, and then we went and picked up your Mead Club order.
Right. So it was a little bit of driving, but it was nice to have a day out of the studio. We enjoyed it.
I feel invigorated and ready to go, and I think that really says something. Sometimes you can stay too long. You have to get away sometimes.
The best part I think yesterday was sitting in the car while we were driving and planning out what we were doing for the rest of the week away from the studio, without the responsibility or the feeling of impending doom if we don't get all of our pottery done. So it was nice to sit in the car driving, planning out our strategy.
Yeah.
And now we'll implement the couple things we said, and it's going to be a fantastic week. It was a refreshing way to get things planned.
Yes. And this week's question, guys, is actually not a pottery question, but a question that was asked personally of us, and it has to do with my tattoo.
I'll show you a close-up picture of that. Diana has a tattoo of a squirrel on the inside of her left wrist.
It's my only tattoo, guys.
Yep, I have one. I've had mine for a few years, but Diana has not had that squirrel for very long. About a year.
Yeah, about a year. I got it in October, so it's coming up on a year.
And it's a cute little squirrel.
Yes.
And there's a story that goes with it. There's a reason that Diana has a squirrel on her wrist. There's a saying that goes like this: the road of life is paved with the flat bodies of squirrels who couldn't make a decision. Meaning, you got to choose a thing. You have to actually make a decision, because picture a squirrel. If you're driving your car down the road and there's a squirrel on the road, sometimes the squirrel will not decide which way to run. He'll go left a little ways, right a little ways, left a little ways, right a little ways. And before you know it, the car's on top of him and he gets squished. And the idea behind the tattoo is, well, you tell them what's the idea.
Well, and if you noticed, you don't see it this way. So a lot of times as I'm packaging things and stuff, that's when people notice it. I have it placed there specifically for myself, because so many times in my life, I don't make a decision for fear of making the wrong decision. So I'm very much that squirrel sometimes. Should I do this? Should I do that? And in the process of trying to figure out which is the best one or which is the right one, I don't make any. I talk myself out.
And then splat.
Things. Yes. So every time that I have a decision to make, I can simply look at my little squirrel, and thanks to you, I go ahead and I just make a decision. It could be right, it could be wrong, but it's made.
And it's progress.
And so it's my reminder to go ahead and make that decision. And there was a lady at the market who had asked about that, and she thought that was just the most wonderful reason to have that tattoo there. And she said, I have that same issue. What a great idea to do something that kind of is your reminder that just go ahead and do it.
So that was our question of the week, because somebody actually asked that.
Yes.
And because there's an actual real answer, why not give an answer?
You know?
And maybe get you guys to understand that when you're faced with decisions, faced with a choice to make, you really do need to make a choice, because that's how you progress. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. And yes, maybe sometimes you'll make wrong decisions, but not making a decision is almost always the wrong decision.
Right, because then you can't learn anything.
Yep.
That's because nothing occurs.
Yep. So anyway, there's our question. Thanks very much, random stranger at the Chincoteague Island Farmers and Artisans Market, for that question. It was a good question.
It really was.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to move on into this week, because today we're going to be making some things. You've already been putting handles on mugs this morning.
Right. I've got a few more to do.
But I got into the mood this morning since it was International Dog Day. It's really set me on to a doggy.
Right, and that's the reason we have our dog bowl here. This is the dog bowl we put out on the ground at our booth, and you would not believe how many dogs drink from this bowl every day. I'll bet we get 20 different dogs every day that come and drink out of this bowl. The funny one was that one young dog who tried to actually get a hold of the bone in the bottom.
Bless his heart.
He didn't realize it was filled with water, so he chomped right into the water, splashed water everywhere, shook his head and sneezed, and then took a drink of water.
Yes, so I can only imagine how he must have been embarrassed.
It may be a little bit alarming, but he was just a puppy, so that's okay.
That was funny.
So we're going to make some more dog bowls for sure.
Yes.
This is the smallest size I want to make, so I'm going to make a couple more of these. This was made...
I think we still need some even smaller, because you've got to think there are dogs out there Pippi sized and smaller.
They're easy enough to make. I made this one on the wheel, and it's nothing more than a bowl with straight up flat sides. Not difficult or time consuming to make.
Oh, and that reminds me, we are going to show you pictures of our dogs today, since it is International Dog Day.
Right, so...
Yes, Pippi is our miniature poodle.
You will see some dogs. I'll show pictures at the end.
Okay.
And we'll definitely show you pictures of our dogs. We love them so much.
Then we have Luna, and then we have Juno. So see, we have some small and some big.
Right, you're going to see the little poodle. Her name is Pippi. The 50 pounds or so black dog is Luna. She has different colored eyes.
Yes.
And then
gorgeous.
And then the big brown dog is Juno. I say big. She's not significantly larger than Luna. Yes. But you'll see the pictures.
She's
Pippi,
my little
Luna, and
dopey
Juno.
dog.
She is. But you'll see the pictures at the end. Anyway, we're going to be making some more dog bowls. Diana says we should make some smaller ones. So, of course, we should make some smaller ones.
That's right.
And then also a couple of larger ones.
Yes.
We could hand build these, but it really was not a challenge to do it on the wheel. So I'll probably make as many as I can on the wheel.
I was thinking about doing some dog treat jars too, for them to put their treats for their dogs.
Think of a cookie jar, but we'll have like a dog biscuit on the outside.
Yeah, something like that. I think that would be cute, and especially holidays will be coming up. So I was even thinking of doing some mugs that had some paw prints on it. Of course, I've got the one mug that I'll be working on that is going to have the puppy,
a dog portrait.
A dog portrait.
Tune in, because we won't know for sure.
I will share that along.
Right. We don't know for sure if that's something we're going to be able to do consistently and quickly enough to crank them out, but we're going to try that one and see how it goes.
So we know we're going to be doing that. Of course, we're going to be doing lots of other mugs, lots of heart dishes, and anything else that we possibly can get
that
made.
gets us to kind of our heart pockets that we have. We've already made these, but we haven't put the magnets on the back yet, so we need to mount the magnets on the back. And these will go on a refrigerator, and they're done except for the magnets. Yeah. And then we're also going to pick through our pottery pile.
Yes.
Because we're going to be taking some of these pieces with us to set up at the market. And these are pieces that, for whatever reason, just won't cut it at full price on our normal table.
Well, we wouldn't feel right.
Right, we would not feel right charging full price for them.
Yes.
Now, some of them are pretty simple. This mug, for example, is perfectly fully functional. There's no problems on the inside. No. But one of the buttons has become detached a little bit from the outside. And although it won't affect the functionality of the mug, you'll still be able to drink a cup of hot cocoa out of that with no problem. Because of that little gap and that little crack, we can't sell that at full price.
No.
Another example of what we would consider pity pottery is this beautiful little vase that Diana did such a good job glazing. I didn't do quite as good of a job making it, and it resulted in a crack in the bottom. The crack is a result of the bottom being too thick and heavy, and I was trying to make something that wouldn't tip over, but it has a crack in the bottom. And also there's a little bit of crazing that you can't see for sure, a little bit of crazing around the top. The crack that's in the bottom doesn't go all the way through to the glaze, so there's about an 85 to 90% chance that this is completely fully functional. You could put liquid in it and it probably won't come out. But because of the crack and because we're not 100% sure, this is an example of what would be on our pity pottery table.
And I would honestly recommend to folks they either use dry flowers or artificial flowers in it, you know.
And you never know. This pretty vase, which is Albany Slip Brown, and we don't normally use that on things. I love the look of it, but it has a spiral crack that's going around it that might never be a problem. It might last literally 100 years without that crack becoming a problem. But because the crack is there, it's flawed. And that means that as pretty as this vase is, it would only sit on a shelf. That's all we would want somebody to use it for. And the crack is a flaw. So we don't have any use for this. At this point, we could do a couple things with them. We could actually, and it sounds drastic, but we could do it. We could break these pieces up and sell them as mosaic tiles for people to make mosaics out of. But I'd rather give them a chance on our pity pottery table because somebody maybe they only have a couple bucks and they don't want to spend a lot of money on a perfect piece of pottery. Maybe it doesn't have to be perfect. So if they can go home with something that we would normally just discard or break with a hammer, I would much rather that.
Right. And if they choose to do that because they're a mosaic artist, then that's fine.
And I would have no guilty feelings about that at all. I would not want somebody to buy, a $50 bowl just to smash it. But for something like this, it'd be a great way to get some funky colors and cool looking tiles for a mosaic.
Yep. So that sounds good. We do have some folks coming tomorrow to glaze. Right.
So we've got a couple of people coming back to glaze pottery that they have already made. That'll be fun. Won't take too long.
So and then Wednesday when the market comes, we've talked about having the pity pottery with us, but you're actually going to be doing the wheel demo that day at the market. So we'll just have one table set up with pottery this time, and the other space will be for you doing demos.
This is going to be a challenge, guys, because we've never done that before. It's going to be my first time doing demos on the wheel at the market. I am confident that it's going to be a lot of fun. My plan is to make small things that will be easily transported without getting too wonky, being shaken up a little bit in the truck. So probably what we'll make is mommy vases. Think something like this,
a little bit smaller.
But smaller. Something where I don't have to worry about the sides wobbling too much. Like this wouldn't be a good thing for me to make at the market, but something that narrows in that will have solid, stable sides. That would be a good thing for me to make. I'll put them on our bats, our little our little Hardy Backer bats, and they should, as long as nothing falls on them, they should be perfectly fine for the trip from Chincoteague back home. And I'll probably make hopefully 10 or 15 of those.
Yes, and I know the other thing we were talking about in the car yesterday was getting a monster clay class.
Oh, right, like for monster mugs or whatever.
Yes,
because mugs, Halloween's not that long
bowls,
away. Yep.
A monster luminary, whatever somebody wanted to make their monster be.
Think normal cups and bowls and stuff, but maybe with tentacles or teeth or whatever.
Weird eyes.
Yeah.
I think people would have a good time with that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Definitely watch our Facebook feed for that. What we'll do is we'll post it up. Yep, we'll schedule it up probably within the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And we'll have that up for anybody that might be interested in our monster pottery class.
And I know we're gonna. Excuse me. I know we're gonna want to have that scheduled in September. So that the turnaround.
Right. It has to be done before Halloween. Yes. So no later than middle of September.
Probably so. So
And-
yeah, we got to get that out pretty fast.
Yep,
then.
but it's going to be so much fun, you guys. I
Yes.
can't wait. Even if nobody shows up, I'm going to have fun making these.
Oh, I can think
chompy
of a
mugs.
few people who will show up.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
And then one thing I haven't mentioned to you, and I just kind of thought of this. So
Surprise.
yes, so surprise! I am going to start a list of items that we have never made, and I want you to keep adding to the list too, because one of the things I don't want us to ever get is the word complacent or bored.
We don't want to get in a track where we only make five
right.
different things.
Yes.
Maybe we only make 5 things, and that's all we ever make.
Right.
So let's do that.
Because it seems like, we know what's popular at the market right now, and it seems to be we're making that, making that, because that's what we've got to get on the table. But I want us to grow as potters
and make different things.
Because we want to expand our skills and stuff. So I want to start a list, and anything that we've never made before that we
how about you guys help us?
Oh, that would be good.
Leave us a comment and tell us a piece of pottery that you would love for us to make. Something that you think we should be making here at Wocky Pot Studio. Maybe it's something that you've seen us make before and you think we maybe could do it a little different. Maybe it's something completely different that we've never even thought of. If you can think of something that we should be making here in the studio, send us a comment or leave us a comment, and maybe we'll try it. We'll give it a shot and see what we get. So anyway, maybe you can help.
Yes. Oh, that would be wonderful.
Would that be cool?
Yes. And the fact is, we have folks from all over the world watching, and, we all have different things that are special to us to make. And, and just like when we did the little funky chicken class,
right.
It was so much fun to know that people in other places made those funky chickens, so I want to make things that other people make too that are special to them. So
anyway, give us some ideas, you guys, because it looks like we're going to be doing some fun stuff. I can't wait.
Got to keep it new. Got to keep it fresh.
Absolutely. What else do we have kicking?
That is it for what we need to discuss for this coming week, I think.
Okay, well, listen, we got a lot of stuff to do today.
Yes.
We're going to spin out some more pottery. I got to practice working on that little wheel a little bit for the demonstrations on Wednesday. We have a load of bisqueware to come out of the kiln that we got to start glazing. Oh my goodness, we need to start glazing stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, we have a lot to do, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please do hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of new content. And toodaloo, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you later. Have a fantastic day no matter where you're at. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.